I've decided that aiming the torch at the floor just at the bottom of my vision is a great way of seeing where I'm going. Okay, this feels familiar. Okay, this feels very familiar. I may have said this before, not a fan of survival or horror games. And we're up to our eyeballs in zombie games these days. I'm just hoping this is going to be as interesting as all those trailers made it out to be.
Where the hell am I?
That's where. Also, is it Village Resident Evil? Or Resident Evil Village? Or Resident Evil 8 Village? Or Village 8 Resident Evil? Or, you know what, let's just move on.
Maybe they're out?
This place looks abandoned, but there's food cooking on the stove. The tractor's still running. That torch is lit. You ever get the feeling you're not wanted? Yeah, then again, this being Resident Evil, it's probably a good thing there's no welcome mat. No welcome mat! No welcome mat! Bunch of wimps! But in case it isn't obvious, the village, capital V, is the centerpiece of the game. That central hallway you always come back to in previous games, this is it. It's just more open air than usual. You'll come across a variety of weapons as you advance. Pistols, shotguns, landmines. Landmines? Well, that's not sinister. I recommend you save them for later. The area is controlled by 5 super baddies, each with their own qualities, each with their own region on the map to call their own, and yes, you'll go through every single one. But before that, one of them, Heisenberg, runs you through a gauntlet of deadly traps that's actually pretty sweet. Can't wait for his section later. Before that though, we come to the bit that the internet has practically exploded over in the game's run up to release, Lady Demotrescu's castle. I'm gonna call her Lady D because I'm lazy. Lady D's castle is full-on gothic, Marble floors, wood panelling, oil paintings, lighting that's bright enough to see where you're going, but dark enough to be creepy.
I haven't cut open a man in a while. Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch. Taken alive, dead, which would you prefer? I can't hold back any longer.
Oh dear, that's a broken leg. Or two. There are puzzles. Sort of. They're Resident Evil puzzles. They're the kind you can solve by accidentally dropping your controller in the dishwasher. The castle is loaded with atmosphere. No jump scares. Except that one. Though, let's be honest, that wasn't much of one. Now that noise is much more unsettling. Lady D's castle even has its own private army of zombie swordsmen guarding it. It's not difficult to see why Capcom made Lady D the centerpiece of their videos.
Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons before you ever see the child. You will learn what it means to insult House Demotrescu.
She cuts an impressive and intimidating figure, and not just because of her ridiculous height. Both Tyrant and Nemesis were intimidating. They stalked you throughout the whole of Raccoon City. But you always had the impression that they were following you because they had been told to. This is different. Lady D at times taunts you, and at others screams with rage.
Rest while you can, because I will hunt you, and I will break you!
With Tyrant and Nemesis, you could hear their clod-hopping bootsteps from across the building. You knew they were there somewhere, you just didn't know where exactly. Here, you're running from a set of pretty loud high heels. That's not something I thought I'd ever do in Resident Evil. And every time you finish somewhere, you always find yourself back in the village. Capital V.
I assume you've picked up something of value.
Not sure if it's of value, but
This is the Duke. He's the shopkeeper. Actually, that's literally all I know about him. Well, that and he sells absolutely everything you'll need to survive the village. Gather all the cash and valuables you can. The Duke will buy the valuables for cash. Cash can buy you health vials, ammo, weapons, weapon upgrade parts. There's all sorts on sale. Just be aware he has a limited stock of ammo for sale. You can't rely on him for unlimited bullets. Now, I saw chickens running around earlier, and I was gonna leave them alone, but... Come back, you feathery fucker! You can use harvested meat from pigs, fish, chickens. There's a few of them. The Duke can cook up a permanent boost to your stats. What I'm saying is, don't sell them to him. At this point I have a bit of a problem, because I'd quite like to talk to you about Area 2. But at the same time I don't want to, because it is the most fucking awesome section in the entire game. I'm not joking. It makes Lady D look like a warm-up act. There were times in this house over here I was shaking. No joke. It's... spoilers, I really want to talk about it, but I can't because it's that awesome. You know what? I'm going to do what I don't normally do. I'm going to put a spoiler section right at the end. So if you really want to know what goes on, you can stick around to the end. Or if you've already played it, you feel free. Or skip ahead, whatever. But if you want to play this game, and like I recommend you do, you want to go in blind, don't watch that spoiler section. Don't even look up stuff about this game on the internet. Just don't. Go in blind. I swear, it's worth it. I've warned you. Area 3 is where Moreau can be found, and it's okay. It's a swamp, which isn't my favourite place for a spooky encounter with a mutated bioweapon. I guess it's appropriate in that sense, but it's not my favourite place. It's okay. There's some shooting of zombies, but nothing really noteworthy. In fact, it's so ordinary. Especially after the first two areas were so engaging. This comes off as dull. I tried to stealth my way through this chamber to get the boat key. Some zombies up front. I figured the key was in the shack. I was correct. I grabbed the key without alerting any of them. Then, on my way out, I discovered that grabbing the key causes a bunch more zombies to drop in behind you, blocking the exit. You fuckers. So instead of facing two separate groups, I'm now facing one huge group. Because I tried to be clever. My only option was to blast my way out. Moral of the story? Don't be clever. Then I have to run away from a giant fish. Well, I say run. In fact, all you have to do is not stand on the rickety boards when the fish is near. Beyond that, you can stand on the rooftops all day and he can't reach you, no matter how much he swims in circles. I'm starting to think he can't be that hungry. Beyond that, there was a boss fight that went on for way too long for my liking, and that's all I have to say about it. Area 4! This is Heisenberg's region. That nutcase in the hat that ran you through the awesome gauntlet earlier, remember? Yeah, if only I'd known his area would turn out to be a crock of shit. Seriously, the approach to the fortress is just 3 fight sequences, and you don't get a choice in the matter. You've got to blast your way through every single one of them. And then, as I neared the fortress, I thought, aha, this is where the traps are. 1 big kill room, 1 mini-boss, done. Well, at least your disappointment doesn't last long. The fortress is a boring slog, but it's over with pretty quickly. Are you fucking kidding me? Heisenberg has a whole factory. A whole factory full of tedious, dull, uninspiring boringness. Shoot mecha zombie in the chest. 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 Shoot mecha zombie in the face before realizing you made a mistake and shoot him in the chest. My God, this is annoying. As a mark of how annoying and uninspiring this is, the most interesting bit is when you go through an area you've already visited, but the lights are out. And you've got to guess where the next mecha zombie is. Woo! Part of the reason it feels spectacularly dull is because the first 2 areas were such blinders. Lady D and her 3 daughters stalking you through the castle. Donna and her... spoilers. The second half of the game isn't bad as such. It just doesn't compare to the first half. It feels like each half of the development team worked on a different half of the game each, then glued the 2 halves together afterwards. If it wasn't for the same characters and aesthetic, you wouldn't know this was a continuous single game. It's that stark a difference. So yeah, first half, awesome. Excuse me while I pick my jaw up off the floor. Second half, meh. Excuse me while I go outside. There's a blade of grass I want to see grow a few millimeters. And once you finish, there's the storefront that's become a staple of Resident Evil in recent years, where you can buy concept art, character models, etc. But on top of that, if you've fully upgraded a weapon to its maximum potential, you can spend a whole chunk of challenge points on infinite ammo for that weapon. Should make the shooty bits a bit more interesting. The difference is striking. It's amazing. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss to explain it beyond that. It's definitely worth picking the game up. If you liked the previous one, you'll love this one, or at least the first half of it, at least. But just for that, it's worth picking it up. And because this game didn't have to make room for a VR version as well as the basic version of the game, it can afford to be longer. It is a longer game. Well, unless you're trying to speed run through it. And I'm sure someone's done that in 20 minutes flat already, as usual. But yeah, can definitely recommend it. Resident Evil Village, 8 out of 10, definitely. So that's it for my video review. What did you think of it? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of Resident Evil Village? Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think of this weird split? Let me know down below. For those of you who can't get enough of my irritating personality, you can always subscribe, ring the bell, etc. Or if you want to inflict me on someone else, you can share instead. See you next time. I almost forgot about the spoilers. Yeah, if you want to go into this game blind, and I can't recommend enough that you do so, turn this video off and go play the game first. I'm serious. Turn it off now. You're still watching. I'm assuming you're good with me talking about spoilery bits. I've warned you. Okay, so first of all, something I want to point out. Lady D's boss fight is like her castle. Monstrous. It's very much like Nemesis, and it's exactly the kind of boss you'd expect from both her and Resident Evil. The Beneviento house, however, this is not what you expect at all. After the gothic splendour of the castle, the inside of Donna's house is normal. Rooms are small and crammed with furniture. Corridors are narrow and cramped. And there's no sound. Barely a whisper of anything.
For so long. I'd make a much better daughter than Rose. Please, won't you stay with me forever?
What? Wait, where's my gun?
Yep, all your weapons, crafting stuff, key items, all gone. This basically sets the tone. And at this point, I'm just gonna stop talking and let you watch.
Mia?
I didn't want to lose you again. I didn't want to destroy this family.
Mia, what are you talking about?
I love you both so do it.
This entire section of the game lasted me a mere 25 minutes, trying to figure out what to do and, more importantly, how to get it done. But your heart is in your mouth the entire time. Despite the fact that this is the only enemy in the house, besides Donna and her doll Angie, of course, you feel like several of your major organs are about to fail. At any moment. All the time. Lady D, you can run her in circles around the furniture. You can't do that here. Well, there is the projector room, but that door collapses after a while. Some may complain about the boss fight being too quick and easy. It's basically a game of hide and seek, catch her 3 times and you win. But it's perfectly in keeping with the house itself. Small, cramped, full of atmosphere. Lady D's castle is epic. Donna's house is claustrophobic. It's such a contrasting experience. I'm sure it helped amplify its effect, having one right after the other. In the build-up to the game, Capcom promoted the hell out of Lady D as a big deal, in more ways than one. I'm so glad they did, because this was worth the wait.